All right, guys, I have another one for you guys today. This one is one that I've definitely covered, but I'm going to try to re-articulate it a little bit better, translate it a little bit better. This is like an evolution of one of my earlier thoughts on the channel. And, or is it? You know what? It might have been one that I didn't really capture, but it's really good anyways. It's definitely going to take pieces of a lot of things I've been talking about. I'm not sure. Check my description, and I will definitely call out which video that is at some point. I am right now the solo collaborator on this, doing all this myself, and I didn't realize how hard it would be as the ideas keep flowing. The more I keep capturing stuff and not being able to get around to editing it, descriptions, titles, thumbnails. I mean, and I know AI can definitely help me with some of that stuff, but man, my life is so busy outside of the channel too. It's really hard. But anyways, enough about me and that. But this is one that I've definitely hinted at or wanted to cover. It's a way of being. It's living in a certain frequency. I think maybe Eastern philosophy and spirituality might kind of say going with the flow. And I think that that's maybe at least a part of it, if not maybe the whole thing. I'm not really sure. But it's kind of like being a certain way, okay? And let me try to kind of explain that to you a little bit better. Some people, I think, are just naturally in a frequency of happiness where they can sustain it. And kind of like, how does that look? How does that operate? What are you looking for? What are you trying to do? I like to think of that frequency as like a slower frequency. Okay, it's the way you live your life. It's the speed you live your life. Okay, if you're going a little bit slower, you're a little bit more patient. You like to sit in your own thoughts. Okay, and I know that that sounds like woo-woo spirituality or something like that, but it's a way of living and being. It's different, right? It's not fast paced. It's not, hey, I need to keep up with everything. It's like, hey, you know, I'm in a competition to make more money than the guy next to me. You know, I got to keep up with my life. I got to do more. I got to, you know, you can hear what I'm saying. Like, I'm exhausted even just saying that. So what I'm saying is that happiness, healing, love, all of that stuff is on a different frequency. And it's a different frequency and way of being that you kind of more than embody. I mean, you embody it, but you're also kind of doing it in the day in and day out. So what I'm saying by that is, like, let's say that, you know, you're on your way to work or you're moving around your house. How fast are you doing some of that stuff? Like, are you just trying to keep up, get to the next thing, and kind of just keep going, bop, 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 nailing some tasks out and keep going faster, faster? You know, I need to get myself some free time. I need to get myself to work. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference between trying to keep up, rushing around your schedule, and then giving yourself plenty of time to be able to kind of move as slow as you want through that. Okay, I need to brush my teeth. I need to go to the bathroom, take a shower, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then, you know, okay, it's time to eat breakfast, and you're not rushing to finish the breakfast. You're not rushing to put it on the table. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're going through the motions, very calm, cool, collectively, no rush. Okay, I got to now get to work. And, you know, traffic isn't bothering you. You're going the pace that you feel like going. Maybe you're taking back roads instead of the fast-paced, busy, you know, interstate. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a different way of living. But that also puts you into a different pipeline of living. I know that this is kind of sounds a little weird, but there's going to be other people that are living that frequency, that pace of life. Those are the types of people that you're going to notice when you're going into your own reality. You're going to avoid the other stuff that, like, you know, is negative or too fast paced or anything like that. You're going to bump into more people that are more your pace of life. And you're going to interact with those people, and that's going to make your entire life, being, day in and day out, it's going to make that quality of living better for you. And a lot of people don't even realize it. They don't realize that they're bumping into negative people. They don't realize that they're trying to move too fast through life. They don't realize that everything's a competition. They don't realize that they're trying to control everything. They don't you know what I mean? Like, they don't realize it because it's a gradual thing. And it's just as gradual to get out of that, okay? You don't, me just saying that right now, yes, this might just click for you and be like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. but you might need to return to this, okay? You may want to kind of switch over, but it's really hard, right? It's almost like an attractive energy. Your mind is like focused on that negative stuff. Your mind knows what to look for. Your mind is aware of all that stuff. You're also kind of living that life yourself. So it's like you've almost trained your reality, trained yourself to look for those things and to recognize those things. So you actually got to train your mind then to get out of it. And you need to create habits around that. And you're going to be learning as you go, because I can't possibly give you every piece of that right here. In fact, my channel does a good job of doing that over time and evolving too. They're all good thoughts. They're all good quality thoughts. And actually, like when I came through with some of those transmissions or ideas that I capture on this channel, they have also thus evolved and become even better and maybe even fuller in a lot of different ways. So keep that in mind. Even if you catch something early, it's going to be like 99% a good thought for that. So if anybody's kind of here on my channel for all that kind of stuff, but just keep that in mind, kind of getting back on track here. It's just a different way of being and seeing. I like to think of patience as being on its own way of life and living. It's its own frequency, being more patient with a lot of things in life. And I know I've said this before, but let me bring it all together in one quick lesson. You know, we'll bring it all together here. Excuse me. Patience to me, and kind of like how that kind of works. Oh boy, I'm losing it here. Where was I going with this? Patience as a frequency, patience as a way of being, patience as a way of life. I think that's I know what I was trying to say. Patience as far as like where we see that in our lives, I guess. I used to consider myself a patient person probably 10 years ago. But the truth was, I wasn't being patient with everything in my life. And I think that that's a huge difference too. You may consider yourself patient, but maybe you're just patient around a certain group of people. Maybe you're just patient around strangers. Maybe you're just patient when you're on your commute. Maybe you're just patient around your loved ones that you really care about, that you want to build connections with. But then on the flip side of that, maybe you're not so patient around certain friends or certain people, or when you're commuting and you need to get there and you're like rushing to get there. Do you know what I mean? Like patience is an entire way of being. It's an entire, it's an entire lifestyle, I guess. So kind of keep that in mind. I'm kind of pulling it all together. I'm kind of saying the same thing I said at the beginning of this, maybe in an alternative way. I'm kind of trying to give you guys many different perspectives and ways of seeing it so that one of these will click for you, because I think we can all understand what I'm trying to say a little bit differently. So I'm trying to kind of give you the full body of it so that, you know, I'm not trying to confuse you by saying it in multiple ways. I'm trying to let one click for you and let you really see it a little bit differently. And that's kind of ultimately what I do with a lot of my things. You know, they're not only are they evolving and becoming fuller thoughts for you guys, but they're also becoming more and more clearer. And I'm also expanding on them to really make you feel it, so that it's easy for you to see it in your mind's eye and feel it, so that you know what to do and start figuring out in order to kind of evolve your own life and become the best part, or become the best version of yourself, your higher self, whatever it is you're trying to do out here, seeking happiness or all that kind of stuff. We're all trying to do it, okay? I feel like I've really landed on it and I'm still building that. I still have some setbacks. You know, there's still some struggles out here. You're just going to have that. That's a part of it too. Recognizing that life can suck sometimes, that there is suffering built into it. You cannot escape this suffering. So the sooner that you kind of get through it and just say, hey, there's suffering out here, there's lessons to be had. I am never, you know, too above that to learn a lesson, even though it's hard. You know, the more you keep getting better and better at it, the more you get to recognizing it. Sometimes you're just like, man, you know, I really wish I didn't get that lesson today. I feel like I've, you know, learned this enough that I don't need it anymore. But it's just built into it. Suffering is a part of it. You will not escape that as long as you're here and alive. At least I haven't found a way to. I'll let you guys know if I do. If I ever get to a point where I've somehow transcended that and I don't suffer anymore, I'll tell you guys that there is a greener pasture. But right now, living in it, doing this, and talking about this and having this channel, I haven't seen it yet, and I feel like I have really gotten to my own apex. I'm happy. I'm finding that fulfillment and meaning and purpose in my life. I'm building what I want to be building. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm on the right road. So, and I'm still finding, but it doesn't hold me back as much. It doesn't hurt me emotionally as much. Like, I'm not so attached to it, or I'm not so focused on it where it's like, man, like, why did this have to happen to me? And I'd think about it and have a grudge on it, and then it happened again, and then I'd be just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't control me like it used to, I guess is the best way to say it. And that's a huge relief off of me. Just recognizing that this stuff happens and that it will always happen. It's a part of it. It's a part of me sharpening myself, refining myself. Okay, but I can feel I'm going off track for a different lesson, but I love kind of bringing them all together here for you guys. Okay, I think I've said enough on this one. Thanks a lot for being here, guys. I will catch you guys on the next one. See you guys there.